Chag Sameach, happy Pesach, Passover to one and all here from Chabad, Lubavitch, in Central Florida, Tampa, a congregation based David. My name is Rabbi Rivkin, and it is now our 31st year here that we are on the Rebbe's Shlichus, together with my two sons, that we are disseminating and all the other staff, Hasidus and the Torah's teachings to all. The holiday of Passover, or Pesach, represents some very deep messages to all of us that we take with us into the rest of the year. Pesach means the mouth will speak in Hebrew. And there is the famous story teaching by Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev. The great Hasidic scholar explained that Pesach means the mouth speaks. On Passover, the mouth speaks about the wonders and the greatness of God and the miracles that God took us out with from Egypt. The Megala Mukas, one of the famous commentators, explains that the opposite of speaking of good is Perah. Pharaoh represented an evil mouth. He sought to denigrate God's powers. I don't know Elohim. I don't know God. I know Elohim. And therefore, when the mouth is used for evil things, it destroys the world. So we must always remember that it is the mouth that speaks of the wonders of God, the goodness of His creation, that ultimately will bring us to the coming of Mashiach, the final redemption. The biblical commandment of Magid, of telling over the wonderful miracles that God wrought for the Jewish people and took us out of Egyptian bondage. No nation had left, no individual had been able to get out and escape from Egypt's borders. Yet, when Hashem, God, wrought the 10 plagues upon Egypt, Mitzrayim, which means restrictions, God and the Jewish people were able to go forth from Egyptian bondage. It was Pharaoh who denied God's providence in every act of nature. It was Pharaoh who sought to glorify and deify nature. And it was God who chose the month of Nisan to emphasize and underline that regardless of how powerful nature may be, it is still a tool and a garment of God's will. And that when a person thinks that he has created all this, that nature is his power and his creation, we should always remember that it is, after all, God's power that gives nature its power and its being.